I'm basically late to the bandwagon on everything, but I'm finally getting to reviewing some YStart knives. You're like, oh, why start now? I'm like, yeah, like right now, I'm going to start on one. Okay, now that that's cleared up, why not start on going over the dimensions of the fancy YStart LK5010, which has a similar look to the Boker Plus Qui-Con Jin, like the overall length and weight. Somebody say Jin? The under 4 ounce, nice weight, the blade length, and the cutting edge. Looking good, right? The handle size and the grip area, not too small, right? The spine thickness. And the tallness closed. Okay, you may have been lulled to sleep during that part, or may have left because of the YStart joke, but what you're looking at here is an under 4 ounce, over 3 inch frame lock Chinese knife. Of course, there is a catch, and it's $50. So let's look at the blade. The LK5010 has a decent sized blade made from 440C steel. Part of it is stonewashed and part is satin finished. Ooh, a two-tone, right? The 440C is the stuff used in the very easy to sharpen Gonzo knives. The blade style is an upswept type, not only because I said, but mostly because it raises up from the handle slightly, like this. See the curve? And the grind of the blade is a hollow grind.
Although it's a slight hollow grind, or maybe I'm wrong and it's a flat grind. It's actually hard to tell if it curves inward. Would you unsubscribe if I told you I can't say for sure?
And although the blade is pointy and might make a good knife for cleaning tree rats, it does maintain a good spine thickness up until close to the tip. That really is an endorsement for prying or batoning through tree rats. It is a thin tip, but it's thick most of the way up. We all know that we never ever baton with folding knives anyway, so now that we have that cleared up, let's talk about the flipper. It's deployed by a flipper stud, which doesn't stick out too far. The blade pivots on a ball bearing system, so deployment is easy and consistent. There's a slight creakiness in my deployment even after putting some 5-in-1 in there, 3-in-1, and performing just a real basic standard satanic ritual, but it doesn't affect the ease of deployment. It's just not as smooth as my Lion Steel SR11 or my HEA Designs Poison. It's locked into place with the frame lock, made from titanium with a steel insert where the lock meets the blade tang for strength. You can replace that with, I guess, another one if it ever gets worn, but I don't know where you get that part. And that means the handle is made from 2 pieces of titanium held together by the standoff spacers on the back. The combination of the open back design and titanium keeps the handle sort of light. There is some texture to the handle through the scalloped ridges. I don't know, is that the right way to describe the texture?
It's still kind of slick, so it wouldn't be a great knife for wet or slimy conditions. So it's okay for internet trolls, but maybe not swamp trolls.
The handle is also a good size for my hand, with a bit of extra room near the back, so it should be fine for average size to slightly above average size hands. D10 is decently strong, and only with hard repetitive flinging can I get the blade to deploy this way. And the blade centering is pretty good too. Not 100% perfect, but pretty good. The tolerances are tight because there's not a lot of space on either side. It's a pretty thin knife and the blade is kind of thick, so the tolerances have to be tight. The clip. It's not really a deep carry. You get about 1 inch sticking out of your pocket, which should really help out law enforcement if you live in an area with strict knife laws. No, officer, I brought my own handcuffs today. The clip attaches to a recessed area on the handle and is not repositionable at all. Blade backward, tip up in my right pocket, which is actually my preferred way. Good news for me, right, left-handed guys? I want to say the clip is also stainless steel and not titanium, and it has a good amount of springiness to it. So it's not deep carry, and some people that may be a deal killer for them, but it is a good amount of springiness. I like carrying it in my pocket. Okay, so this is probably the most expensive Chinese knife I reviewed. I'm thinking back, and I think it is. But it's also the lightest for its blade size. It's actually a good everyday carry size knife, reasonably good deployment, nice handle and blade size, at least for what I prefer. Size. You know, and then there's the pocket clip, of course, but whatever. I don't care much about the 440C steel, meaning that it doesn't bother me. That just means it's reasonably easy to sharpen. So let's look at another flipper. How about my tank of an upswept flipper, the larger blade but only slightly longer cutting edge. I do not carry the Enlin EWO54 because it's too heavy and it's too big. I reviewed it a while back, and I'll leave the link at the end of the video if you've got nothing better to do. I don't, that's why I make videos. Then there's my Poison, which is a slightly shorter flipper. The flipper stud, though, is longer. It's more fun to flip and has a much stronger detent. It's also a $280 knife. The handle and blade are smaller, but I kind of have an unnatural love for it that I can't explain. This has a titanium frame lock too, and have a similar weight in the hand between the two knives. So let's move on to the other high-end-ish flipper. When I say high-end, I don't mean like $800, I mean like $200. That's high-end for me. Steel Will Mini Cut Jack, a smaller blade, faster deployment, but a high-end steel, and this one costs about $150. Yeah. So the YStart. You're getting a lower end blade steel, but in all honesty, some people prefer not to sit at a sharpener for 45 minutes working on a super steel. It's got wear resistance, right? The YStart is reasonably priced for a titanium flipper. Its ball bearing system isn't quite as slick as my higher end flippers, but I don't want to make it seem like it's that different. Some people may not even notice it. I also prefer a more elongated flipper, like on my Poison, because it's easier to hit. If you like this review, subscribe to my channel, like this video, click the bell below to get notified when I drop a new video. Leave a comment.
GearBest provided this knife for review. Thanks for watching.